Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of Stream Squad. So in our show today, we're going to learn why YouTube is thinking about removing the dislike button. Also, Twitch had over 9 billion watch hours, so we're going to learn more about that. Afterwards, we're going to go over some top tips for having success with live video, and we've got a special sit down with Carson from Steady Ready. So stay tuned. We'll be back in just a moment.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of Hashtag Stream Squad. If it's your first time watching, I am Jimmy.
I'm Angela.
And behind the camera
is Dayton, the man.
Hey guys. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, we do this show every week on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time right here at facebook.com/switcherstudio. So if you are watching this on the replay, you should definitely come watch it when we're live like we are right now here to you all on Facebook. Thanks for tuning in. There it is right there, Wednesdays, 2 p.m. Come see us if you're not. And also, hey, we're here live right now. Dan's watching the comments. I've got my computer over here so I can try to chime in too. Leave a comment. Let us know what you're thinking. Let's make this engaging. Talk with us about what's going on. And also share this video out. Just go ahead and put this on your timeline. Let's get some more people watching it here. Share it with your friends. Let them know that you've got the show that you watch every Wednesday at 2 o'clock. At facebook.com/switcherstudio. So please do those things. We love to have more people here. Let's just make this a big party and hang out. But yeah, share this video, comment. I think I went through all the things that I'd like everybody to do. But anyhow, what we're going to do on the show is something we do every week. We're going to get right to our segments, and this first segment is industry news.
So our first story, I mentioned right at the start of the show, YouTube is thinking about making a big change to the way, you engage with their videos. As, YouTube viewers often see, there are two buttons where you can just easily tell how much you like a video. There's a like button and a dislike button, and anyone who goes on that video can see the ratio of likes to dislikes immediately. Well, YouTube is thinking about disabling the dislike button completely so that all you would have is the like button. And the reason they're thinking about doing this is because what they call dislike mobs. So there are some videos where, based on the content, there could be a lot of negative feedback. But what YouTube is finding is that a lot of people are disliking the video without even watching it. Within seconds of clicking on it, they dislike the video and then shut it off. And what's happening is people are just jumping on a bandwagon effect and saying, I'm going to go to this video and dislike it too. Some notable examples of this happening was Rebecca Black's Friday video, Justin Bieber's Baby video, and most recently YouTube's own 2018 Rewind video from last December, which unfortunately is now the most disliked video on their platform.
Right. New heights.
So what they're thinking is just removing that dislike button entirely. Of course, right now, users do have the option to manually disable both the like and dislike, which means you can't rate the video, and also you won't even see it. No one's able to see it except for you and your content management system. But they're thinking about just getting rid of it altogether. So what's happened is anyone who has the creator channel either subscribed to or in their own kind of back studio, the YouTube studio, the director of project management, Tom Lung, recently posted a video where he updates all the different content creators on plans for 2019, and he also explains this situation in more detail. What he has asked users to do is to comment on that video what they think the solution to this problem will be. I went through this about 30 minutes before we went live, so this is really recent data. Most people are saying leave it alone, like it hasn't been broken since 2005, just leave it alone. A lot of people are saying Also, maybe a slight tweak, like you don't have an option to like or dislike a video until you've watched somewhere between 25 and 50%. So after you're logged into your channel and you've actually viewed that amount of the video, then you have the option to rate, and that stops the click, rate, and click back off that's been going on. It also kind of tickled me. Right now, the video has twice as many dislikes as likes, so I think people are trolling YouTube a little bit. But it's interesting to see what you guys think about this, especially anyone who is a YouTube creator. It sounds like they are going to be looking at these comments, so definitely hop in, let them know what you think. A lot of feedback right now is YouTube's just trying to do this because their video has become the most disliked, but it is something to think about. You know, a lot of dislikes keep videos from coming up high in search results, so it's something that can impact a lot of creators.
I'm curious. Yeah, it is. It's like the funny joke is, oh, it took YouTube to become the most hated video on YouTube to finally try to do something about this. But I am very curious. If you have, please leave a comment on our Facebook thread right now. Like, what do you think about this? Because there's often, I think 2009. Actually, this is a fun fact. We looked at this in our meeting. The 10th anniversary of the Facebook like button is this Saturday, February 9th. Right? Wait. So. Yeah, 9. February 9th, 2009 was the beginning of the Facebook like button. That was when it first came out. So maybe, I mean, people wanted a Facebook dislike button just as much. I mean, so I don't know. What are we going to do about this? Tell us in the comments, what's your solution to this issue that we're facing here? You know, I'm going to move on to our next topic, or our next story, actually, in industry news. So I just want to bring you some information about Twitch and a little bit about the video game industry and live streaming. Twitch has racked up 9.36 billion, with a capital B, watch hours in 2018. 9.36 billion watch hours in 2018. And just as a comparison to some other top players in the game streaming different platforms that are also involved in this, YouTube Live, 2.31 billion watch hours in 2018. That's only 25% of Twitch's total. So this should give you an idea of the amount of hours that are spent in Twitch, and especially, I really think it comes down to the content. I mean, video games are meant to be looked at and stared at. They're developing over time. They take a longer time to develop. And it's really, it's no secret why this is going to get way more watch hours. So that stat's going to be huge. It is important to note that YouTube's stats, just for example, their watch hours grew by 414.5 million compared to 2017. Twitch grew by 506 million hours compared to 2017. And also Mixer, we're going to throw that stat in there for that other streaming platform. Its watch hours rose by about 40 million compared to 2017. So watch hours in general are growing across all of these different platforms, but gaming especially, which is really strongly used by Twitch users. I mean, gaming is arguably the largest segment of users. Just unprecedented, 9.36 billion watch hours. So that's definitely something to watch out for there, is to see the rise of these different, especially gaming platforms, and Twitch as that sort of medium for that. Gaming is growing across all platforms, but Twitch is really taking away, like, I mean, they're the lion's share definitely is going to Twitch. So I thought it was an important statistic to share with you all, 9.36 billion. I mean, I can't say it enough times. That's just huge. That's an insane amount of time that people are spending on that sort of content. It's just...
I liked from the comments here, Tim Flanagan in here saying kids aren't doing their homework. Very possible. I think it goes back to that thing we always say, which is there's never going to be less video. We're only going to keep making it. These devices are getting better, and just more people are watching, and more people are going to start creating video.
It's funny, right? Tim says that. My dad used to always say that his kid, me, and all of us, he said we were working on our Nintendo scholarships because of how much we were playing games, and that was, I'm talking like Donkey Kong 64 era sort of level playing, not like Fortnite like it is out now. So yeah, so anyhow.
I think a big thing is like the multitasking aspect, because like I remember, you know, elementary through high school, it was like this weird dynamic of like, I want to get good grades, but I want to play this game, and so I'd sacrifice my sleep and be running on 2 hours of sleep. Sorry, Mom. But it's like as I grew older, I can't function on that sleep. So what I found myself doing more and more over the years is just watching games so I can multitask. So I'll be super excited for a game to come out, but 9 times out of 10, I run home and pull it up on Twitch and watch it. It's not me buying it anymore. It's I'm going, unless it's one of my favorites, I'm going to watch it so I can be doing these other 5 things I need to do and still keep up with this game. And most people I know are kind of doing the same thing. I think that's really helping these numbers to grow, because now I can just watch you play. It's my TV. I know what's going on, but I get my stuff done.
These are watch hours. These are people watching that are not playing the game. You know, it's kind of for people that aren't into video games. It is definitely, it totally seems strange, but it makes total sense. I can't tell you how many like Saturdays all day I wasted as a kid just playing a game for hours on end, and just to imagine that for every one person playing, there could be 1,000 followers or subscribers watching that person. Those all add up and contribute to a huge amount.
I've seen some good comments in here talking about this Twitch stuff too, like Mike saying Twitch is not all gaming now, lots of IRL streaming.
Yep, IRL is
that's
another
a new thing. David says he teaches live streaming as part of an esports and entrepreneurship program. He says, well, games is certainly still most popular. Some of my classes jumping into other categories. Like, I've seen people you know, do cooking shows on Twitch, just do like live eating as well, or the IRL stuff. So yeah, David, if you know some other things that are going on, we'd love to hear what some of your kids, because they're the people doing a lot of this new Twitch stuff, what they're doing would be really interesting.
The IRL, just stats from an article where I pulled a lot of these stats, IRL streaming grew by 302 million hours watched compared to 2017.
You know,
so 302
I don't think
million
I shared this yet. Let me go ahead and share that in the comments.
It's the one that's from GameIndustry.biz.
Yep, got it right there. So if you want to see where we're getting this information from, you can check that out right there.
You can also see a top 10 at the bottom of all of Twitch's top games and different streams. Fortnite, for example, how many commas are there? 3, so that's a billion. 1,358,973,051 hours just on Fortnite alone. So that's a lot. That is a whole heck of a lot. But anyhow,
that's our industry news.
That's
segment.
our industry news segment.
If you guys saw something we missed, please let us know in the comments, or keep those conversations going in the comments. We love seeing all that interaction everyone's having in here. I've seen people letting us know where they're watching from. I see Dean says Atlanta in the house. It must have been a great party. What was it, last Monday, right? For the Super Bowl. Was it Sunday, not Monday?
Super Bowl Sunday, yeah.
Super Bowl Sunday. What am I doing?
Super Bowl Monday.
Yeah, that was probably fun down there. Oh, don't listen.
Morning after Super Bowl kind of day.
Nothing like that either. That's pretty cool, right? That's one of the things I really love is people are using Switcher all over the place. So seeing things like someone watching us right now from Ghana. Tim, we know Tennessee. Chris, we know Dayton or Cincinnati. He's somewhere.
Chris is watching because he knows he's coming up next.
Yeah. Ontario in here with David. Mike, I want to say it's California. Mike Swam. I'm trying to, some of these people we see, I always like to try and remember where some of these people. I see Hot Rock in here. We know he's Phoenix.
What's up?
Ray, I think it's St. Louis. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, with some of these people. But yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in.
Glad we got everybody in here.
Yeah.
It's a party.
It is a party. I think it's time to move on to our next segment. And in this week's live video strategy, well, you'll see in just a moment. All right, as we've been teasing all day in our stream earlier to the user group and also talking about in different ways, this week's live video strategy is not going to be brought to you by us. It's actually going to be brought to you by Chris Carson. Chris Carson is the proprietor, the operator of Steady Ready, a company based in the Cincinnati-Dayton area where Chris does a lot of live streaming and video work for several different businesses and clients. He really helps them grow their brands. We've kind of become friends with Chris just because of his use of Switcher. He's been kind of a Switcher evangelist in many ways, and we're proud of that, the fact that we've been able to get somebody who's excited about the product as we are. But Chris stopped by because he's so close, and we just hung out with him on Monday. And while he was here,
Super Bowl Monday, right?
Super Bowl Monday. On Super Bowl Monday, Chris came down, and we got him to deliver some of his ideas for live video strategy. You know, I asked Chris, like, aside from just doing the videos for people, like, what are the other things that you try to do to help their videos make an impact? So I got Chris to give me some info about other things you can do to help a live video make the impact. So here's some live video strategy from Chris, Carson, not just about the live video, but what else can you do along with the live video to really make it make a splash. So check out this video.
What's up, guys? I'm Chris Carson of Steady Ready, and I'm going to give you this week's live video strategy. So when it comes to live streaming, the possibilities are endless. When you start that live stream, focus on more than just the live stream itself. You have the possibility to get additional content out of that one thing. So what is possible? Instagram stories, Facebook ads, YouTube videos, whatever you can imagine, you can do with live streaming. So once you're done with that live stream, you compile all the footage, and then boom, what do you do with it? Throw it in your editor and start thinking about the possibilities. If there's a single line in there that is great, that talks about this, that, and the other thing that sells the product, the service, or the thing, take that one line and create a 30-second promo. Another thing you can do to get the word out about your upcoming live stream is to promote it. Start doing micro content ahead of time. Sit down with a director, sit down with a CEO, sit down with the powers that be, and get them to tell their story of why people should pay attention and watch the main live stream. If you have something that tells the story and you get a testimonial from that client, take that snip and create additional promos. The sky's the limit, guys. Just focus on possibility and start executing today. So if you're ready to level up your business with live streaming, you gotta check out our additional tips and content at steadyready.com. I'm Chris Carson. Thanks for watching.
So definitely check out.
Let me have you start over and say that again, Angela, because somebody did not unmute the mic.
This guy, I think I know who did that.
So speaking of blogs, of course, we want you guys to go and check out steadyready.com as well. But also be sure to check out our blog at switcherstudio.com. So we have tons of great strategy articles on here. It's not just for Switcher Studio users, so if you're just getting started with Switcher or you're doing other endeavors as well, it's still great tips to help with live video and video in general. So be sure to go to switcherstudio.com/blog. There's a section on the website where you can subscribe. Just put your email address in. And what this does is anytime a new blog is posted, which is normally about once a week, you'll get a notification in your email letting you know, hey, here's a new article where you can click and read. So you don't have to worry about spam or anything like that. It's just going to let you know whenever a new helpful tip is up, so that way you can take advantage of it.
I think what's really cool about the blog now is, I mean, it's kind of always been this way, but now a lot of us are contributing to the blog more. So you'll get to see an article written by me or by Angela or by Dan.
Yeah, I just recently did one on lighting that I think will be out soon.
Dan's got one coming up pretty soon. I've got one about iOS mobile audio. So anything you want to know about audio, hopefully I can cover in this article. Hey, if you have some ideas for different things you'd like us to write blogs about, we'll take that in the comments right now too.
Yeah.
So let us know there what you'd like to know. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah, I've got correction. Mike's from Houston, Texas, not California. That's on me. I see Joe says Kansas in here. Felice is Chicago. So yeah, all over. Love seeing that. And I saw David in here who was talking about the kids and stuff and some of the other stuff they're doing other than gaming. This is going back to our Twitch topic there earlier. He says ASMR is big, IRL, creative music, creative arts, and talk shows. So even just doing a talk show is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Maybe we should start streaming on Twitch.
Maybe. We can check it out. We can try it out. I don't know. Why not?
Yeah, and then Dean's giving me the laugh on the audio. Yeah, that one's on me. See, we're professionals, but we make mistakes too.
Egg on his face, but we move forward. We move on, and we learn. Hey, speaking of moving on, we've got yet another segment coming at you today, and surprise, it also features Chris Carson, so stick around for that in this week's Switch It Up. Well, this week in Switch It Up, since we had kind of an unannounced, well, it wasn't unannounced, I think it was just unknown to Dan and I. We weren't aware until the morning that Chris is going to be stopping by that day, so we kind of hustled around to figure out what we were going to do. But it really was serendipitous, because when we always do our planning for this show on Mondays, and since Chris was coming by, we thought we would do a user spotlight this week, and why not with Chris Carson, who we had in the flesh here with us. So I sat down with Chris a few days ago, and I tried to get an idea of how he got started with video and why Switcher was really his choice. How did he end up here? So you're gonna see a guy who really needs a haircut give Chris an interview right here in this setting. So we want to share that with you now. So here's me talking to Chris Carson and getting some insight.
Before we put that in, I thought that was throwing shade at Chris's hair.
No, see, I got a haircut. And the guy you're gonna see sitting in that chair over there is me, and I need a haircut. Chris does not need a haircut.
Anyways, here's that.
We all need to have more hairstyles like Chris Carson. Check this out. Hey everybody, it's Jimmy here, and you're watching a pre-recorded video. No bones about it. I'm obviously wearing different clothes, but this week for Switch It Up, we were pleasantly surprised to have a guest come visit us. I mean, unknown to us, but yeah, honestly, I'm kind of glad that we had this opportunity today, because we've got none other than Chris Carson with us of Steady Ready.
Hey guys.
Chris is very active in the user group, if you weren't already aware. Chris has been using Switcher for a number of years, and so we have an opportunity today. We actually got to check out some of his kit earlier. It was really cool to see all the stuff that you bring, and also I just wanted to, we're going to get to the bottom of your story with Switcher and really your story with video. And then I just want to help some other people understand where you started out with this and how you ended up going from doing, feature film sort of work, and now you're making video with iPhones. What happened to you, man? You kind of, is everything okay? You're making video with iPhones? What happened?
It's absolutely nuts, right? So, back in the movie world, it was always a joke on set, like, one of these days we're going to be shooting on iPhone. And you know what? We are.
Yeah.
And while a lot of people in the industry still think it's a joke, what I will say is that you have to, it's one of those things you have to see to believe. Switcher Studio and what we're able to do with live streaming is a world of possibility. That's what we live in. That's what the tool really is. It's removing all of the stops that once were, and really just what do you want to do and go accomplish it.
Right. I mean, I agree. Let's briefly go through. Maybe tell us how did you first get into video? Because I think a lot of our viewers maybe aren't really doing a lot of video yet, and maybe they want to figure out what do I have to do to get into it. I think your story is unique because you've kind of gone one direction and come back around to this great place. But how did you first get into video? What was your first exposure to doing that sort of stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. So I went to film school and spent most of my time, ironically, outside of those walls of the institution. Spent time on set, in the community with local filmmakers, learning the trade, learning the craft, and just tried to establish myself, right?
Right.
Built my way up into a camera operator and a Steadicam operator, and eventually a DP within the film world. Have shot 9 feature films, and I've got to do a lot of cool stuff. But within all of it, I was tasked with one thing. I worked with a director on a movie, and we had coffee one day, and he was like, it would be really cool if we could do a live show. If we could do a live show that literally moved locations every single week, if we could do that, what would that look like? What is the kit we need? What could make that happen? And wow, a quick Google search, a couple hours later after that conversation, we had another conversation, which was, oh my gosh, this is all possible. You're not going to believe what the capabilities are. So, ta-da! Switcher Studio was introduced to us a few weeks in R&D for the show. It kicked off and it happened.
Yeah.
We had a few bumps and bruises along the way, but it was mostly, it wasn't the application. It was more so about the one variable of, that we set out to accomplish. Filming in the middle, or live streaming in the middle of nowhere.
Right? Oh yeah, well, obvious problems are gonna come up with that. I mean, internet connection and things. I mean,
yep.
So would you say like Switcher helped you get to that point a little faster than the alternative? Because I mean, when you're talking about, I mean, he's using acronyms. I mean, DP, Director of Photography. These aren't things that you're going to hear like at your day job most of the time. I mean, these are very highly specialized positions. And when you think about like grip trucks and the sort of production value that goes into trying to set up something that's going to be constantly moving and doing live shows portably, you're probably not going to get that on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, for that matter, for less than a lot of money, a big chunk of change. And I mean, how does Switcher sort of circumvent that? I mean, not just financially, but I mean, portability-wise, is that helped you really just avoid that whole?
For the live videos in high-end video production that we used to do, you know, we would have a prep day, is what it was called. So we'd go out the day before the scheduled day to shoot it and set up, and it would take the entire day. It would be all these cables and all this gear that Switcher really just kind of turned all of that on its head. You know, Switcher enabled us to use devices that were not only mobile, but accessible, things that we already had in our pocket, you know? And so that equipment then became from this large TV truck all the way down to some equipment that we could acquire much easier.
Mm-hmm. I'll try to put some on the screen. The kit that he brought here earlier today, it's just in a case, but it's, I mean, it's really easily accessible, and it's not, I mean, everything costs money, but it's not out of, it's completely reasonable, the gear that you can use to pull off these sorts of streams. And it's not because you have to be like a video expert to come up with this stuff. I mean, these are like consumer products that anybody can get. It's just kind of like putting tools to use, I think, that really makes it valuable.
So I get asked a lot, what is the real, you know, what does it cost to get into something like this? Let's just throw out the money number, because everybody's immediately going to go to that. That's great, you're shooting on iPhones and all these cool things, but what does it actually cost? Well, it's far more practical than you'd think. Right out the gate. Compared to high-end video production and live video streaming, I mean, you're looking at $20,000 entry cost, minimally, just to get started. And so,
yeah, just to have it sitting on the shelf,
literally, and
just so, there, not doing anything for you, but just to have it around.
Yep. And so the live streaming kit that I use is in its 6th generation now, or 6th iteration, and within that, we've come a long way. Now everything is very compact and it fits all in one.
It's really cool.
One small case, and which is great. So what does all that cost? You can basically get a live streaming kit for around $4,000. That includes everything you need, from the iPad to the cameras to the tripods, sound, everything. And you can be up and rolling and ready to do live streaming anywhere. And only Switcher enables all of that to happen. Yeah, and it's amazing.
Honestly, though, I still feel like this is plenty to do with Switcher.
Yeah,
I can do a lot. I can do great with one.
I
mean, and I work here, right? So I'm supposed to say that, but I think the point. I mean, as far as the extra gear and those things go, $4,000 seems like a lot to a lot of people. But if it comes to having a consistent setup so that you can, you know, frequently do live streams and keep going with them, even if it's for your own. If it's for your business, I mean, I know in a lot of ways. Another point I want to touch on is how you help these other businesses. I mean, you're doing video for other businesses, but even if like you are your own sort of setup, or you're a marketing agency, or you're a marketing director at a place, and you need to create videos constantly, and you're trying to explore that route, $4,000 is not a lot of money to get started doing something you're going to be doing consistently, right?
For a live streaming studio. I'm talking everything you need for a studio to put on a production like this on a consistent basis. We throw it all in the case and then roll to the next client and do it all over again multiple times a day. Now, anyone, you know, just as long as they have an iOS device, almost any iOS device will suffice when it comes to using Switcher Studio.
We should say that. Put that in the, no, any iOS device will suffice. Let's put that in the marketing language.
That's perfect.
All right, Chris, I really appreciate the opportunity to talk to you today. Thanks for, I mean, time flies really fast. You said earlier we have to make the most of the time we have together, but we're running out of time now because everybody's got to get running. But thanks so much for stopping in today. You can see more. Chris, tell everybody where they can check out where to find you on social media and all the platforms and places and things.
Yep, everywhere at Steady Ready. That's Eyes, not Wise. And just simply find us there. Check out the blog if you're interested in what kit do you need? What equipment do you need to get started right out the gate? Go to steadyready.com, check out the blog, you'll see everything there.
All right, hey, thanks again to Chris. We got another segment coming up here in hashtag Stream Squad, so stick around for that. Thanks everybody for watching. All right, everybody, thanks so much for sticking around, checking that out. I had a lot of fun with Chris stopping by on Monday so we could sit down and do the interview. Really cool insight about just kind of his background, just coming from feature films, and then now he's using Switcher Studio on iPhones instead of using big cinema cameras. So just really cool story about how he's gotten into it. We're really thankful to have somebody like Chris who hangs out in the user group and has some comments about he's always contributing and doing that sort of thing, answering questions. I know we're probably getting a lot of questions. Occasionally during the stream, we'll get very specific questions about how Switcher Studio works exactly. And Dan, you want to tell them how we're going to fix that issue for everybody?
Yeah, I did see some questions back here, some things like the Osmo Pocket and some other very specific Switcher questions. So if you have those, join our enthusiast group. I know that's one of the places that Chris is very active, and we thank him for that as well, is the Switcher Studio enthusiast group, which I'll let Angela explain here in a few minutes about how you can join that. But once you join that group, you're able to watch our watch party. So we do a watch party every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that watch party, we will go over everything you need to do to get your first live video up and going with Switcher. I will show you how to add graphics, lower thirds, add the multi-views. And if you have questions, very specific, you can ask away those, and one of us will be in the comments there. A lot of times it's Jimmy, myself, Angela, and we'll be happy to answer any of those questions there. That's a great spot to get that information. So yeah, that said, Angela, you want to let everyone know how they can join?
Yeah, so there are 3 different ways to join. So of course the first is by going on Facebook and searching for Switcher Studio Enthusiasts, and that's going to take you to the group. Another way, if you're watching this on our Facebook page right now, tap on groups from the menu, and that's going to take you to the enthusiast group as well. The last way, if you already have a Switcher Studio account, log in at switcherstudio.com, select join the online community, and that's going to take you there as well. So any of those 3 methods work. All you have to do is fill out a short survey. It just lets us know more about how you're using Switcher Studio or how you plan to use Switcher Studio so that we can make it even better for you. And then you've got full access to the group. So milestone, we're over 4,000 members now. So thank you guys so much. I think it was at 4,026 or something this morning. So awesome. We've passed that next milestone, but everyone in there is super helpful. We've got a lot of you guys in the comments are really active in the group. So if you have any questions about Switcher Studio, you can ask those. All of us on the Switcher Studio team are in there to help you. Other members are there to help. If you want to share anything you've done, you can share that in there. Just leave a brief description. And, you know, of course, everyone is welcome. So whether you've been with Switcher for a long time or whether you're just getting started, you can have a lot of fun with the group. And one thing we like to do each week is to share an example of a video that we liked. And that's when we get to our Made with Switcher segment. So whenever you are sharing a video that you've made with Switcher on social media, be sure to put the hashtag Made with Switcher. We do go through that tag. We do look at those videos. And each week we like to take an example of a video that was hashtag Made with Switcher to show you guys an example of what can be done with Switcher Studio. So this is one that was shared in our user group by user Byron Lavorne for the Kakuto Club. And this was a video he did on Sunday, January 27th. It was a mixed grappling arts competition for the Kuzushi Club. And this is a really great broadcast. So what he's done is he's taken 3 of the iPod 6 gens and also 1 iPhone 8. And those were his 4 camera sources. He mounted 3 of those
cameras. Actually, if I can interrupt you for a second here, Angela, you can kind of see them up here in the corner. I'll put my mouse over it so you can see. There's one there and one there. So yeah, he's got the cameras all around.
Yeah, 3 of them were mounted, and then he's got one just on a tripod for everyone to see. So, you know, a great example of, instead of just putting everything on a tripod, seeing where you can put the cameras. And especially for something like mixed grappling, you don't want a lot of tripods right next to the action. So mounting them on the wall is a great decision for this. For his main switching device, he's using an iPad Pro. And to get the best audio quality that he can, he's got some lapel mics that he has attached to a headset. So of course, a big thing for a lot of productions is, what do you do for networking? So Byron is using a Mophie in-band router that he's plugged into the main router at the venue. And he's able to make this special router into a private network, so that way no one's joining it, no one's using his bandwidth. He's got this specifically for his cameras and for his broadcast. In the future, he says he wants to continue the setup, but he's also planning on adding one of the DJI Osmo mobiles, which is the gimbal we have for panning and tilting. And he's planning to try to mount this upside down to get an even better dynamic angle. So he said that's his plan for the future to come. But overall, you know, we love this production. There's a lot of great productions that Byron has been doing for the Kakuto Challenge, and he's also been pretty active in the user group as well. So, you know, the post that he made with this was very descriptive. So he's an example of someone where if you're wanting to get started with Switcher Studio or you're looking to up your production, look for his posts and other similar posts, and he'll be able to help you guys to get started.
Yeah, great looking production for sure. Yeah, that was fun. I also liked all the graphics. If you get those PNGs with the transparency, full screen, I hope maybe he's like making some money for promoting all those different brands and stuff too.
Yeah, I'll put a link to this video if you want to hear it with the audio as well, because I know we always mute them here, so we can talk over them. But the video is now in those comments if you want to take a look.
Yeah, definitely check that out. Well, every week this time comes, that's the end of our show. For anybody who's watching this on the YouTube replay in the future from now, thank you so much for sticking around. Definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. And hey, you know what? If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel and you're watching us on Facebook, you should also subscribe to our YouTube. Anyway, you can find us at youtube.com/switcherstudio. Definitely follow us if you have not already done so. You can do that right up here somewhere. You can click on the button and follow us. You can get notified next time we go live. If you're on a mobile device, you can just tap on your screen. You can say following, and there's a little bell down there. Just hit that bell and you'll get notified anytime that we go live. We thank you so much for watching. Once again, Wednesdays at 2 p.m., facebook.com/switcherstudio. We're here every week, and we look forward to seeing you next week for #StreamSquad. Thanks everybody for watching. We will see you next time.
See you guys.
Later.